what could be the reason though? YouTube is not live yet, so I need to ensure live before. So, Shalom.
Yes.
All right. So, don't worry. I'll fix it. Um, Annie is unable to join, so I need to get the Zoom link. Um, this link across the one. Don't worry. So yeah, from last week class, can I get feedback? What did you do? Like, did you practice anything? Did you make a post? What resolution did you go? Like what did you execute? Let me know. Feel free to unmute and speak or you raise your hand. So I want to know like how many people were able to carry out something, you're able to do one or two things. And just let me know what you're able to do though. Like yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi,
From my
good
end,
evening.
I was able to intentionally engage with posts that I honestly feel like are related to my niche. And yes, I found out about another feature that you can comment and like maybe tag the person on LinkedIn and all of that, then repost with my thoughts. Yeah, I explored a few things.
Oh nice. That's great. Reposting is very, very good. Sort of people underrate what reposting could actually do. But another thing I think I forgot to mention is this aspect of you also trying to go live on any platform you like, probably on Instagram, on any platform at all. So here is the thing. If when you go live on any of these platforms, you can sort of like have what you want to teach or what you want to talk about. And from there, you get to see that during that program, you can have the option to um, you can sort of like get to meet new people. So last week, I sort of had, I think just this week, I had this live session. It was just from a random conversation with a friend, and said, okay, let's go on IG. And that friend left me for like, that was very sad. So I went live twice because the first one was just for us to catch cruise and just play around, you know. And then after that, I now had to like go live again and be more serious. So don't put on seriousness like your entire 100% while being online. Try to be human, try to relate to people, try to get. So yeah, and so during that life, I asked someone that asked me about is he up to like 5 questions. I'm like, bro, that's a lot. Though I plan spending like 30 minutes, I ended up spending more than 1 hour. So you get to know that even when you don't feel like naturally that area will just get to just come out. So I was on a Zoom live session one time, and this LinkedIn influencer said try it and go live on LinkedIn. And yeah, I tried it. You can try the audio, you can try the video, but I think it works majorly with your laptop if you want to really enjoy some of the features. Just go live, do a video or upload a video, a minute video. Just do something different and all of that. But that going live is that point that people are afraid of. You're afraid of probably your background, you're afraid of this. Like now, this Zoom now, I could probably use my normal. artificial AI background and all of that. But on IG might not be able to. I think on LinkedIn should be able to. So who else want to tell us what he or she did during the week? Some of the participants are not. Yes. So do well to post as well. For me, I don't post all the time, but I sort of love stories and reposting of stories and all of that. So I get friends through my other friends' account. So when they repost, I get their friends. When I repost, they get my friends. So that's how it is. And if you are intentional about what you post and all of that, you definitely get more engagement. So yeah, I want us to talk about fellowships, scholarships, internships, anything that has ship in it, but not relationship. Because I'm not a relationship coach, and here we have focus. We're talking about global opportunities, and fine, relationship is the bedrock of everything. Like there are some doors you don't necessarily need to knock, like knock on the door, pam pam, and who is there, who is that, and the one, James and all of that. No, there are some doors that you just have open based on relationship. But let's put relationship on one side. So there are some important life-changing opportunities like fellowship, internship, scholarship. In all of these, some of them are intertwined. You can have a fellowship without a scholarship. You can have a fellowship and also have a scholarship. But you can have an internship that also pays you. That's more like a sort of more like a sort of like compensation, right? So during internship, you might not be paid as a full-time staff. However, you would also be paid. On the other hand, during your fellowship, you might not be paid at all. So then during scholarship, as the word implies, you definitely be paid. But it's not that you have to be paid in cash. You could probably be given a resource, maybe resources. You could be given a scholarship to attend an event. At the point, which was my first event, I was given a scholarship of $150. No, $180, yeah, to attend a conference in Ghana. That was my first event. And I didn't have the money. So what did I do? I participated in a fellowship, a 3 month long program, which was like I've mentioned it before, Millennium Campus Network, which is MCN, Millennium Fellowship, if you want it for short. That's what is popularly known. So while being on that fellowship, I network with friends across Africa and across the globe. Unknowing to me that the application that I submitted, I have one of the MCN fellows who is on the board of the reviewers. Like they have review committee, they have board and all of that. So the selection committee, I had somebody who I did not know was part of the selection committee. So then he reached out to me. I said, James, I saw your application. I'm like, bro, how did you see? So that was it. So I got my letter. I could remember, I think it was it 1st of September. Yeah, it was 1st of September. And the event was in November. Yeah. And yeah, sorry. I didn't have I didn't have this then. I mean this, you know what this is now? Yeah. I'm begging you, if you're on this call and you don't have this passport, go and get one. Prioritize this because we can't be talking about global opportunities and you don't have this. I don't subscribe to you saying when the time comes, you don't have to be rushing. You have to make sure that the opportunity makes you ready, right? Let the opportunity make you ready. So when they call on you, you are ready to fly at any time. So then I got the documents, which is my passport, which is fine. This is my passport. It's a Nigerian passport. I don't have. I'm currently Nigerian with a Nigerian passport. Yeah. If any other person tell you that kind of stuff, they say also all sort of thing about Nigerian passport is fine. They have some of their privileges, but try to be well informed before you jump on anything. Yeah. I've missed an international trip. Why? Because I didn't have a visa, and it's more honorable that way than going and being returned back home. Some things are due to ignorance. And some things, if they say, oh, this is how it is online, and you go by it, I'm sorry, you might come back home. So you just have to be careful. of all these things. So while I participated in that fellowship, no money was attached. I graduated at Unilag, right? And then what happened next? I was able to request for a waiver. What was the waiver? I wrote to them a mail. I don't know if I can still find that mail, but I can definitely search for it. I wrote to them, I told them I'm sorry, I won't be able to afford this because I am a student. If you're not a student, it's fine. You could tell them you're working and your salary is not up to this, and you have been able to do some financial commitments which will not allow you to pay. All you need is just to be honest. If you are honest and you let them know the reason, they'll definitely give you. There was one I posted from Tawhida. She reached out to me randomly. She's not on this class, but and when she reached out to me, I gave her attention and answered her questions. And she said she would like to attend this program. I said, no problem, pushing for it. And guess what? I had somebody who applied years before that got in, but as at that time, there was no scholarship. But luckily for her, this time around, over the years, the Help BS program has grown and they were able to probably secure funding, which is good. And as they were able to secure funding, then I sort of told her that she should write to them and say, this is what she can afford and all of that. And she came back and said she was giving a full scholarship, which is fine. And guess what? That 220,000 naira, 220,000 naira that was asked to be paid was just a commitment fee to tell you the quality of what that program is. Some of the times why they some of the reasons why they put those things at times is to like get you to put in effort so you don't see it as being free. Like you could imagine you're part of the people that attended the master class for free, and you could imagine the turnout after making it so free. Like that is how life is. So they don't want you to see it as something that is not valuable. So then you are a youth, fine, but then that does not mean everything should be free because we need to also normalize a system where people get to pay for value. Like education is important and you just have to know that to develop yourself is not cheap. You have to look for ways and you have to go that length. So yeah, these are global opportunities, but I also need to prepare your mind. Like on this call, I want to prepare your mind that global opportunities that you're looking at requires you to also have your own money, requires you to have some amount of money. I mean, it requires you to have structure in place. If you're on this call, you don't have a business, you're not working, you don't have a source of income aside being a student or you're serving or whatever, go and get one. Why am I saying that? Because sometimes some opportunity can come and they say, hey, you have been selected, this and this, da 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 da. However, you would have to travel. When you are back, we will send you your money. It works like that sometimes. Why? Because they're afraid of booking a flight for you, and then when you probably get to the close date and you say, I'm sorry, I wouldn't be able to come. That is heartbreaking. And resources has been spent into that, or probably visa issue and all of that. And that is heartbreaking for some. I received a mail from World Bank this week. Now, that was like 2 days ago on the 1st of May. I wasn't happy about it. Why? I applied to attend in person, but I was given a virtual attendance. What will I do? Then I have to just attend virtually. And I applied next day again. What happens? They don't have enough resources that cover as many people as possible because when I applied, I was in Nigeria. And I was definitely looking for who could support and all of that. And in my application, I put that I already have the necessary document for me to travel for the conference. So, and all of that. So, some opportunities, if you are able to get selection, like now I have the virtual attendance. If I reach out and say, okay, I have the necessary resources I would like to attend, you just need to sign an agreement. Are you sure you have these resources? And they'll be plain with you and tell you, sorry, we are not able to fund anything aside probably refreshment, food, accommodation, and sometimes, right, just an accommodation, it's a lot. Like it's 3 days, I think 2 days event. Yeah. That 2 days event is a life-changing event. There are a lot of recruiters that come, there are a lot of organizations that come to that event. So you could imagine you putting like 500 or 800 or 1,000 or more than $1,000 into that. You need to like give it your best. which will also take me to another aspect of what we are talking about today. But I need to prepare your mind. Not all fully funded opportunities are actually such that you will just go and then you have all your stuff. Because tell me, if you've been given $700 as accommodation, you probably have been supported with feeding all through your stay. You probably had hotel pickup and drop off, and you probably had your maybe basic needs settled, and you're just left with your flight. All you need is to find your way and get yourself down there. A good example of that was when I was in my SS3. No, I said, why am I going back? A good example was when I was in third year in university, and I had to go for a big African event at I think Uganda. The agreement was they put us in a four five, not really 5 star, but it was four-star hotel. But you could imagine that hotel. When I saw the receipt of the amount that was paid, it was about $1,000. I'm like, why didn't they give you the money? Unfortunately, they can't give you the money, because if they give you the money, there's no assurance you'll be at that event. So what they do is they will settle and have an agreement and give you an accommodation. My dear, if you are thinking about accommodation in a strange place, it's a lot of money. I during this UN event, I knew how we're able to get accommodation and all of that. And the owner of the Airbnb was giving us a sort of, this is what you want, this is what he doesn't want, this is what he doesn't want. And you can't sleep on the street. And you can't definitely just say you want to go, just go to an hotel and check in. They are all booked. Like, people have booked months ahead. And the more the days they are getting close to your event date, the more it gets expensive. Another thing I'll give you is, peradventure you are not giving an accommodation, look for other friends that are also coming for that event, and you guys should match up. You guys should pair, you guys should split the bill and all of that. I wouldn't say a guy should split a bill with a lady. It's not done, it's not okay, because it's not. So a guy should look for a guy, a lady should look for a lady. If it's two-bedroom, a guy in one, a lady in one. If it's two-bedroom and you guys are four, you split the bills and all of that. Because sometimes some of these things are things that people get to and they are thinking about. There are some life-changing opportunities. All you need is just to get yourself down to wherever it is. Don't be fooled. There are some fully sponsored opportunities. In fact, there's one that I was on last year that I got. It was fully, that was what they painted, but it wasn't what we experienced when we got in. So these are things I need to prepare your mind. Let your mindset be as strong as possible. Like, and also, one thing that would also help you is put a structure to whatever you're doing. We are young. I'm sure the least among us here is 20 or 21 or 22 or 23 or 18 or 19 or 20, right? All I know is you are a young adult, you are probably 20 minimum, right? So you have the right to plan your life, put a structure to what you are doing, have an extra source of income aside your parents, your family, and all of that, and have it set up. A good example I'll give you is this. If you go to an embassy, this is an hack I'm giving you. I've had opportunity where some people will submit an application and they'll be like, what home ties do you have? And you're like, I have my mommy, I have my daddy, I have my sister, I have my siblings here. That is not a home ties. It's not even a strong ties. One of the strong ties you need to have is land with the documents, or if you are married, and I'm sure most of us here are single. In fact, some are singles to stupor, right? If you are single to stupor, can I hear you say yeah, yeah, or see an emoji, right? But that is not even necessary. Maybe you're not single to stupor, but you're, you know, locally engaged. I know some of you. If you are locally engaged, can I see you say yeah? I want to hear your voice. Or you are waiting on Christ our Savior. All of that are also good, but then they are not documentary. They are not document that I can present that I am in a relationship. No. What I'm just telling you, if you are married, you can present your marriage certificate. One important one that you can do is this: you can present your registered business, you can present your registered company, you can present your registered NGO and all of that. If you are passionate about a cause, put a structure to it. now. This is an addition I'm giving to you. So if you appear before the consular officer or whoever, I don't know what the embassy are going to, he's talking about, and you tell them, so what strong home ties do you have? I have a registered company and I have a staff. That staff you mentioned is as powerful as you saying, yes, I have responsibilities waiting for me at home, compared to you coming and saying, I have my daddy, I have my mommy. It looks like you're playing. And there are some tricky things that people do and they go to the embassy hoping that they will just overlook. No, they have a system that works and we need to just adapt to that their system. And some of it is when you go there, you sort of let them know that, okay, while I'm interested in exploring this global opportunity, I'm also open coming back home to develop. Like that's the kind of person that I am. My first visit in America last year, immediately my event finished, the next Monday I jumped on the next available flight back to Qatar back to my home country. Right? So if you have been able to build that trust, unfortunately I don't have my old passport here. I sort of have stamp. So some of those stamps are actually a way for them to also trust you. But you need to be smart about this. You don't need to have big money to have track record or travel history, what have you, and all of that. You are a Nigerian. With your Nigerian passport, you can enter Ghana, and if you go to Ghana, you can go by road, stay a day, and come back. I don't know. Like my last trip that I had, I went to Ghana by road. And why? Because, my dear, if I show you evidence of this is just a trip, I'm showing you guys because I'll probably show you on the group. Like this is just a trip, but a page was filled up with stamp, right? I think yeah, oh, 2 pages actually. 2 pages were filled because while I was going out, I flew out, right? So 2 pages were stamped. If I go again, that is 2 pages as well. Not 2 pages, I 1.5. Then if I go again, that means half plus another one, that's 3 pages. That's how you add up your experiences. So if I probably travel by road and I return by road, 3 pages will be filled up, right? Well managed pages. And one thing is, with time, those pages, those terms will fade up. Some embassies don't need to ask you which countries have you been to. You don't need to answer all the questions. All you can just say is, I've been to 5 countries, I've been to 4 countries. Whoever cares will ask you more. These are things you need to know. Adventure you want to apply to any of these big embassies, you need travel history, right? So some of this fellowship will tell you, oh, you are going to be sponsored to come to Germany, you'll be sponsored to come to Canada, you'll be sponsored to come to the UK, you'll be sponsored to come to the US, but they don't get to tell you some other things. Because there are some people that will have fully funded opportunity and might still be rejected. There's nothing you can do. That's why any program they always tell you, for the fact that this is a fully funded opportunity, we have no power to interfere with whatever the embassy says. Even the United Nations, our last event, they were hammering it, and telling us we don't have control over the decision of the embassy, of the consulate, of whatever it is. That is what they will tell you because that is what it is. The organizer of the event will not love to come into any immigration issue. So it doesn't look like they are doing migration or trafficking or what have you. So you will be left alone to fight your battle. They will only support you with necessary documents and all of that. And then when I was to come in, I just presented my document and like, okay, so where are you staying? Present the document and all of that. And then when I going back, present the document. That's all. You don't need to talk. There are sometimes you just keep quiet. So some of these fellowship, they are nice, they are out there, you can apply for them, but these are the back end stories that you guys don't know. I need to prepare your mind that you need to have savings. You need to have friends that believe in your vision. You need to have friends that believe in your dreams. That if you tell them, I have this event, I want to go for it, I believe in it, I believe it's a life transforming event, and all of you, all you need is to have someone that believes in you. And that person can help you to reach out to another, and you can do the same, reach out and reach out and reach out. because we shouldn't come and deceive ourselves. Mayokun, I think you need to mute yourself. We shouldn't come and deceive ourselves and just be talking about global opportunities. There are some opportunities that you need to first get yourself down there because before you get a phone. Sometimes when I fill a refund form, I probably get. There was a time I went for an event in it was in August. I got the payment back in that was in October or November. Yeah. So September, October, November. That's like 3 months of processing. So if you probably received a loan from a friend and you didn't tell the friend that this is the condition and you're not able to pay back, you'll be in trouble. So you should be very specific. So don't be so excited that you just because they promised they will give you money back, except you have worked with them before and they've done it over and over. Like, there are some people that they will sponsor you and they will say, okay, yeah, we don't mind sponsoring you again, but most times they want to sponsor you once it is a win-win event. So, and one thing you could do is some of the companies that I have worked with before, I keep saying this, they are the easiest you can go to. If you have worked with a company before, you can easily go to them and say, oh, I have this program, have been offered this and this and this. Mention the value is going to add to that organization and mention the value to add to your life. Because you shouldn't be in an organization just for the number. You should be there to impact, you should be there to develop yourself, and you should be there to also grow holistically. I mean, in your career, in all facets of your life, go for experience. I was in a program today strictly for men, and I sort of see the program what they did, like building a home for a homeless family. And to me, at first, it doesn't make sense. Why? Because we're just putting stick together. But by the time we were all done, we had like 15 groups, and in those 15 groups, when they put up those sticks that were constructed and added together, I could see a home. Like all they will need to just add is probably some blocks downward, put the sticks on it, the inner side, make the outer part, and voila, they have a home. And that's all. So some of the things you need to know is building a home takes that process. It is long. So getting global opportunities is not just you apply and all of that. So, but when it comes to scholarship, there are also scholarship that comes with no tuition. You don't have to pay for school fees. There are also some that comes with probably tuition and then you pay 25%. If they are giving you 75%, that is a lot. No matter what the scholarship is, that 25 is big. So you need to look for money. So I'm going back to the subject matter of money. So don't always have in mind that only 100% opportunity is a global opportunity. There are opportunities that are 50% off, there are some that are 100%, there are some that are not 50%, there are some that it is self-funded. So where the bottom line is that there are self-funded opportunity that are also global opportunity. Now, there are some lotteries that have been out. It's kind of lottery, but people don't make it lottery. So I've done it, I think twice. Yeah, I've done it twice. So this is what they will tell you. This program is open to anybody to apply. However, you apply with 16 point something dollars. By the time you add up a tax, it might be about $20 or $21. The last time I applied. So when you apply, your friends can apply, thousands of people can apply. Those money will be like added together, and then they will select few people. And those few people that they select, they will give them fully funded, maybe 6 people or 5 people. Then maybe 20 to 30 people, they'll give them partially funded. Then maybe like as many as possible, they'll give them self-funded. If you are probably not attending any program before and you have enough savings and you have evaluated the theme of the program is important to you, you can go for it. It has to do with life-changing opportunity. Another thing I'll tell you is because most of people that are on this call are Nigerians. If you see it's an opportunity that can change your life, then get yourself prepared, jump on that flight, get yourself to that embassy, apply, get support from your uncle or from organization or from the team and all of that. So, and if you have your organization registered, organization that's registered that you are under, get a letter-headed paper. Like write a letter on that letter-headed paper. Is very respectful to do that than you writing on a plain paper and appearing. That shows there is no structure, that shows you are not serious, and that shows you are probably not taking it as you should, because a letter-headed paper is given much respect as far as it is legal. Like I heard about a story. There's this station I was watching on YouTube about how they deport people back. This is not Nigerians anyway. But there was this Nigerian guy that sort of like wanted to enter, and the guy used he said he was working in a company, and he thought probably in Nigeria when he say if I'm working here they will not affect his ID card has expired. One, second, he didn't have a reservation in where he was going to stay that country too. Number three, then they asked for the details of the company. They called the company. The company said it's not working with them. You know what the situation was? The next available flights to go back to Nigeria was what they had that guy on. So be very careful. Be very, very, and that guy's passport had more like a default. They had like rejection, more like visa cancelled. So some of these little experiences, some of these silly experiences that people make or people do have is due to ignorance. Get yourself educated. Know enough thing before you even before you carry your bag. So don't just say because hey, it's fully funded, then the organization will fight for you. You you can't definitely rely on that, because you know that's not going to be a reliable thing. You just have to like um find a way to have all the necessary documents before you appear before an embassy. Like those documents, it's better to have more than enough than you don't have all. Like I remember most times when they ask me, if I pack the necessary one, I give to them. And then when I give to them, then when they ask for more, I bring it out, I bring it out, I bring it out. You don't have to explain some things, just evidence takes away some stories and all of that. I had to print out my CAC certificate and all of that. So this is not to tell you that you necessarily have to register a company, but you can partner with a friend, register a company if you believe in it, or you be join a organization that is registered, and then you can have an access. I've had someone that told me, okay, you probably want to apply for something, I need the certificate of the organization. I was given based on trust. To build trust with people and leverage on that trust and use it well. That is the bottom line. So in all of this fellowship, internship, and all of that, you can explore as many as possible. Internship is for you to work as an intern. Fellowship is for you to be a fellow and also be specific about what you want to do. They know what they want specifically. So read their eligibility criteria. There is Millennium Fellowship for students. There is Atlantic Fellowship. There's Atlas. Is by Atlas or something. Then there's also like um, um, Yali RLC Fellowship. That's regional leadership centers. They have in Accra for West Africa. I've been applying. I've not gotten in yet, but you know, I don't know. Sometimes because me, I do put my record that these are places I've traveled to, but they don't give. But you see people that say they've not traveled before, they will always give them. So that kind of thing. So I could remember there was program I posted, I applied and like, yeah, I've been to the US and all of that. They were more like, oh, you have been, so no problem. So sometimes there are opportunities that are available, but you need to know their eligibility criteria. Pushing, like pushing. And there are some opportunities you put on your watch list. By June, which is next month, I have an opportunity. I'm waiting for them to open. I've waited for like 3 years before I'll be able to apply. Why? Because I was watching them and I was making inquiries before putting. I don't sometimes just fill an application. I'll first reach out to them once they say, okay, this is the eligibility criteria. You might not probably be following the eligibility criteria. That's why you're getting some rejections. So by the time you have waited up to that year, if you try first year, second year, you probably get it. But you start applying, you're not up to the age, you feel like they'll just cut because they have people they want there at that event, at that high level conversation. I told you about one my co-champion at the UN Summit of the Future did. She sort of like she has been a senior special advisor to the governor, and she applied for the Doha Forum directly. For me, I was applying for Doha Youth Forum because I was like, oh, let me go for the youth. And they read her profile. She didn't know anybody. I was the one who brought the opportunity to her. She was selected. applied. She did it and she got in. And she was fully sponsored. Like, I was like, sis, like, you could tell them you need additional 5, 4 days, and they would actually answer because I can't jump on a program and then I'm telling you immediately I'm done, I'm coming back. That sometimes you just let your host know that, see, I know we are here for business, but after the business, I need 1 day off or 2 day off. It wouldn't kill them. Yeah, you can do it, right? Right. So yeah, another aspect I want to mention, which is the bedrock for all of these things, is relationship, and that relationship comes through networking. Like, I can't stress it. Like, if I talk about this from morning till night, you heard about the story I mentioned about during my Millennium Fellowship, how I met the guy and how I got a waiver for $180. $180 then was not a lot of money, but as a student, even to get $1, I wasn't working. I was probably volunteering and all of that. So those networking aspects was what gave me some waivers. Like, volunteering is a lot. I think during my NYC, there was this program that was in Abuja, Transcorp youth team, and I wanted to go to Transcorp. Like, everybody at Transcorp, and all that. They like meet big men and all of that. But guess what? Like, I think I had two programs at Transcorp that particular year, last year, February and July, right? That first one, when I went there, I just went to breeze in. And in fact, during the dinner, I did not buy food because I did not have the money. As a copper, I didn't have the money as a copper. Like, to eat just dinner on a Sunday or dinner on a normal day is like 45,000 naira then. And that's a lot of money for a copper. Like, a copper eating for 5,000 one sitting. I'm a copper. Oh. But in July, I was still a copper now. I went for another event. And guess what? In fact, even myself, I was selecting what to eat because sometimes you need to go and chop life. And guess what? It was just a dinner. Someone invited me and said, okay, my friend, let's like, I went to his room, like down upstairs, and this guy is like, I think he's a minister in his country. We sort of, what I did? We sort of did an exchange. I sort of took him round in Abuja. When foreigners come, they sort of like, he was like offering me some things. I was saying, no, I'm not interested. No, don't worry. He said, like, if you want more, just no, no. There's sometimes you just have to, based on relationship. So based on the relationship now, let me tell you this year where the EdTech event might go is Ethiopia, right? If the ball falls there, I don't necessarily have to think about where do I sleep. I have a former host, but adventure that former host is not available to host me this time around. I will definitely pay him though. This other person can come in and this other person can be like, oh, this guy is worth investing in, you can have him. That is how networking open doors for you. There are some people that will just send your name, and when they submit your name, the door is already open. And I also beg you, if you have the power, if you are in that position and you are responsible to opening a door for another person, please do it. Don't hesitate to do that. Because don't just accumulate all the opportunities without giving back to others in any way that you can. Some of the programs I do are towards giving back, right? So you shouldn't, because you are selected for a program, you do something and then you stop. No, let it be natural. Let it be natural. Like, you are always thinking that, oh, what do I give out to people? You don't necessarily have to give your money, you don't necessarily have to give your resources, but there are times that you also invest your resources to giving out your time, to giving out your talent, to giving out your most like cherished moment, probably time you're supposed to use for other things, you just give it up for something else. Like, I saw an internship, I'm like, wow, I would like to participate in this. And guess what? When I saw the fee attached to the internship, I'm like, wow, this is money. What, right? But getting the selection is what matters. And how did I get the internship info? I went for an event and I got there and I saw that, wow, so this is how it is. I went on their website, I saw the internship, I'm like, oh wow, this is nice. It's something I can explore while I'm here and all of that, and all of that. So, like, some of those things, networking is very important. I just walk up to the man, I'm like, hi, I like what you're doing. I didn't even know his name, right? Because yeah, they would sort of tell you, go online, apply online. They don't care about you. And he was like, okay, you'll get a feedback from this man and all of that. When you get it, just mention this. When people don't want to give you their contact details, don't force them. It's not in a way where you say, oh, yeah, this is my own contact details, and then you'll be expecting. Once they don't want to give you, don't worry yourself. Like, sometimes they feel like people are disturbing them. There was a guy I approached recently. in my estate and was like, "Oh, sir, and I like the work you're doing. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been in this country?" He said he migrated from Mexico, da 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 da, and all of that. He was telling me about his life. He grew up here all his life, da 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 da. And after everything, I'm like, "So how is he finding his job?" He said, fine, that he worked on this project from the beginning of the estate down. So he's a construction manager. Fine, I'm a project manager. I sort of network with him. And in the end, guess what? He gave me ID and then I said I'll contact him. So today I have not reached out to him. Why? Because I don't have something I want to do with him at the moment. But definitely if I need something, maybe I want to buy a house, or I want to move, I want to get something, I can always reach out to him because his company is very big and his company is into construction, they get to give people. So you get to have a priority when somebody is within that company and they can give you professional advice for free. See, unlike some part of the world where you get to like you call a lawyer and you get free consultation. Just to jump on a call 30 minutes with a lawyer is money. Like everything is charged. And you shouldn't just be thinking about this thing, this thing. Some of those offers can actually be waived based on relationship, but there is a caveat. And that caveat is this: as much as possible, don't ever misuse any opportunity. Don't because this person is my friend, then it doesn't matter. They give you an appointment, you don't show up, they probably they are helping you out with something and you're just lackadaisical about it. You just don't see it as something that you should give your best and all of that. I wouldn't advise you to do that. So be preparing your questions while I'm wrapping up. So and it's very important that while you're networking, you don't like see yourself as being not able to produce or not able to like contribute. So this is one thing I do: bring your A game whenever you want to go for an event. Like I'm going for UN event and I get there and then I'm looking out. So who are the people I want to connect with? There are some people that are so proud, you see them how proud they are. You don't need those kind of people because whenever you're talking to them, they're just feeling themselves and all of that. And there's some people that when you're talking with them, they are talking with them, you sort of have something to share, not some that once they are talking, they're telling you a way, they are feel like feeling themselves and all of that. So you meet them, you tell them what you do, and you listen to them more because you're the one that wants to network. Especially if somebody is mid-level career person or a senior level career person, some of them can come to your level, but then you should not forget where you belong. You are just an early career person. You shouldn't feel like you're on top of the world and go and be blowing your trumpet beyond your helper, right? So make sure that you sort of let your person know, oh yeah, this is what, like I sort of met two new guys today. We exchanged contact. You know, guys, now how we talk now and all of that. I'm like, bro, yeah. And if you have this opportunity, I don't mind. Let me say, no, yeah, I just go one recently. And I didn't want the guy. And the guy was like, okay, well, let me know. At the time, we were just saying bye bye. The guy was like, okay, you will let me know if there's any opportunity and all of that. And that was all. And I got two new contacts for that day. And all of that, like, just getting your like minds at events sometimes might be very difficult, especially if you are not an extrovert or if you don't find it easy to network and all of that. To me, it wasn't hard, but it wasn't hard, to do in recent times. But back then, in those days, it's very difficult for me to do it. It's very difficult and all of that. So I really must tell you that it's not something that you should see as being difficult. Go on YouTube, go and watch videos. How do I network? What do I start with? There's what we call elevator pitch. That elevator pitch, you should make it as short as possible, probably 30 seconds, 20 seconds. What are those catchy things that anybody will hear about you that they will just feel like, oh, can you tell me more? And all of that. Because people get inspired over here for whatever you're doing. Unlike in Nigeria, if say you've impacted over 10,000 students, you have spoken to over 20,000 students and all of that across Nigeria, they'll be like, what is that? How does that concern you? All of that. But people like, well, that's a lot because they see the impact you are making in people. Because you're investing in people who can't pay you at that moment. But those people will grow up and say, you made a speech and that speech helps my life. That alone can be the defining moment. Like I was listening to someone today and the person mentioned what a poor family goes through. What they go through, there are just three. He mentioned poor housing, he mentioned poor healthcare and poor education. Imagine these three things, those three aspects the person mentioned, and he mentioned how individuals can come together and make this happen. So that was what led to the project of coming together and bringing that housing together for a family and say, oh, this home you can live in it. So what I'm trying to tell you is don't in any way, by any means, underrate whatever you have done or you are doing. Be able to say something about yourself because it has to be a win-win. They have to see it as being symbiotic and not parasitic because a symbiotic relationship will last longer and people see value in you and all of that. I had a guy like my belt was firm and I detached my belt and while I detached, I didn't even know who this guy was, but I just saw that the guy was just adjusting his pants and he was just adjusting and I'm like, bro, what's wrong? And I didn't know the guy is an Afghanistan Canadian and all of that, blah blah blah. And but do you know the guy later in the day was able to go to town, he got his own belt and all of that. He traveled and forgot. So that was how I got to know this guy, somebody that I know needed to speak with that guy because I have met the guy before. The guy gave his time and the guy was telling us about what he has done, what he has accomplished. And this guy was literally telling the other person this was what this person did. I don't know him from anywhere. I didn't even let him know I'm in Nigeria. It was later when we had conversation that this American was asking, was like, you should thank me and all of that. Why? Because I found out that that could help. And I'm like, bro, so is this how you would be walking around today throughout the event? And I could see that my own pants, fine, I've given some of my belts before and thank God I had to. The person didn't return up to today. I'm like, probably this one is also that kind of one. Let me just give it a try. Gave me his number and all of that. We started talking. And then he goes like, if you have a project, we can reach out and all of that. I'm like, bro, what do you do? I was like, oh, he has represented Asian, but he was Kinecon. He represented Canada, Kine. I'm like, for real. So this is the person. And there was nothing financial in it. So if that person, if I probably want to reach out for any opportunity, that person will give me his time because I've been able to like also contribute. He has been able to know, and I have a lasting memory of my picture in his head. So he can't forget me. Probably in the future, I just say, oh, hey, hope you remember my name is James and this blah blah, the guy that gave you my belt during the UN Summit of the Future or during the ECOSOC event. And I was like, oh wow, remember, thank you very much. You will still remember. So that guy can go learn for you. Little heart of kindness count. Don't underestimate it. You could probably meet somebody and you observe something is needed in their body or they need something and you be like, oh, can I help you? Can I help you to carry your bag? Can I help you to do this? Especially when you see an elderly person, when you give them that respect, they can open any door for you. They can open any door for you. So networking is not like you should get into a room and then they say start networking with people, person beside you, person in front of you don't know who they are. So you just have to go approach them. Hi, my name is James. I'm from Nigeria. I'm representing the youth in Nigeria. And I currently do this, I do that. I've been able to train Nigerian youth about this. I'm passionate about youth development, capacity building, and also believe that the ball child should also be what the development partners focus on because development partners are just like women, girl child, girl child, and all of that. But you could realize that somebody will be like, wow, I'm interested. Let's talk about leadership for the ball child and all of that. So you could see that that person will be like, oh, I'm interested in this aspect. So he stayed there. I had a friend that was like, he's into climate, blah, blah, blah. You want us to talk about leadership. I'm like, bro, why leadership? Well, like, he has watched me over time. He saw how I do some of the things and like, let's talk about youth leadership. Just sharing your experience can inspire somebody. You don't even know how I started my leadership journey. They dragged me from the back of the class where I was sitting and like, come on, come forward. I'm like, I don't want to come. I had to come forward. Like, and from there, clash rep, clash rep, clash rep, clash rep, clash rep, clash rep, clash rep. If I say I don't want to, I don't know. There was a class I did in, I think it was in March, April. And when I jump on this class, they said they were looking for clash rep. I said, we are also looking. And they were like, oh, are you thinking what I'm thinking? All of them. It's like they all planning together and said it is me. I'm like, okay, don't reject. Why? Because leadership is responsibility. And I don't know how people, it goes with you everywhere you go. Especially if you have made up your mind that you are not doing, that's when they want to give you. But there are some situations that I've been able to do. I say, I don't want. I'm sorry, due to my current commitment and all of that, I wouldn't be able to do it. And people respect you. But if you see that these people feel like you are the best person for that, I think you should just take it. because you have an edge, you get to develop more relationship, you can reach out to them, you have their contact, you can always come to their DM, and they'll give you attention because you're a leader. They will respect you. But your leadership should not make you to feel so pompous and to feel so proud. No. As a leader, you should also try to be low to the earth, be humble, and be humble. You are there as a leader to serve. You are not there to come and be, hey, 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 go there, hey, go there. No, don't be an authoritative leader. Be a servant leader. We need more servant leader that you take that position that you are in as an opportunity that within the time possible, within the time frame they are giving, you make the best of it, and you also make the life of others better. So when the time comes, when you have said bye bye and you need to come back, you won't be shy to come back. There are people like that that they cannot come back because of what they've done. They've burned bridges, they've done what they need to do, and they've forgotten that those bridges are needed for them to cross. There are crossroads in life. They have different crossroads. Probably you need a crossroad to move to wherever you want to go. There are people that are at each junction, like to help you. So you shouldn't like feel like, oh, this person has reached the juncture of this relationship and we have to stop. No, that person man that's why I tell you that whoever you see, no matter how that person is looking at that moment, don't judge that person based on that because an opportunity and above all, God, who is the creator of all human beings, can change the life of that person for forever, and you'll be amazed and be like, hey, is this person? Yes, it's that person, that same person. But you have despised that person because the person did not have what you needed at that moment. So treat people fairly, treat people as much as you like to be treated, like to follow the golden rule. Do to others what you want to be done to you. Like if you offend anybody, senior or junior colleague, or somebody that is even younger than you, beg them and say you are sorry. It doesn't take too much. Like, yeah, I hope that helps. So explore and apply for opportunities. Go on AI, ask AI questions. If they ask you essay to write, look for how you can attempt those essays. And please, if they ask you 200 words, like I mentioned on my IG life, I will post it. You can also go and watch it on Instagram at DJ Kopola. I mentioned if they ask you 200 words, stay by that 200 words. If they ask you 1 minute video, don't do 101, don't do 102, don't do 105, don't do 115. Like when they ask you for just 60 seconds, that is beyond, that is more than 60 seconds. You should stay within. I was telling a friend, someone asked me to write a report. I wrote an essay, and the person is always telling me write 3 sentences. I'm like, bro, I gave you a very extensive and exhaustive write up. So decide what you want. But if the person has said write 3 sentences, I'll definitely write 3 sentences, but I'll not be able to express myself. So why they told me to say 1 minute video, and I sort of had the right to write whatever I want to write in the body of that 1 minute, and I had it. So follow instructions. In all of these programs, instructions are very key. Anybody that doesn't follow instruction, they'll just put red on your application. So they just waive it. Forget if you meet other aspect of the application. They'll just waive it and all. All right. So yeah, that comes to the end of today's session. So we have question and answer. Over to you. Yeah, you can raise your hand, you can write your question, and yeah, I hope you're having an amazing time. Yeah, let me get to hear from you guys. Does anyone have a question today? And do you have a specific question about fellowship or scholarship? And then scholarship, like if you are looking forward to scholarship for next year, by July this year should be the best time when you start applying. And you shouldn't apply to just one school, you shouldn't apply to schools, two, you shouldn't apply to three, but be specific wherever you are going and go on YouTube and learn. YouTube is a university on its own. Like, and then you need to know what exactly they need, and you can always write a mail to the program coordinator, write a mail to the current student and let them know, oh, I'm interested in this. Can you post me through what are the things that makes an outstanding application? That is always part of my question. When I ask that, I ask, do you have scholarship? Do you have funding? Because I know scholarship is what will make my academic life stressless and the best that anybody that is coming from Africa would probably have the best. But when you get there, don't, because you have a scholarship, and don't look for ways to like add more work to your scholarship, like add more work, get money, get money, get money. Because you'll be done with your school. If it's masters, probably 1 year or 2 years. If it is PhD in 5, 6 years, you'll be done. Then what happens next? Always plan and think ahead. Plan and think ahead. During your PhD, you have some training you have to go for. They might tell you to go, that school will pay you back. School might not book your flight. School will pay you back when you have gone and you have returned. And open your eyes for opportunities. Like, don't be a student and then be saying, oh, I'm a student, I don't have time. Like, people sometimes regret that. And then while being in school, while doing any program, take up leadership opportunities, especially if you're a student or your master's. Leadership opportunities goes a long way. Leadership, all those additional tasks you are doing, volunteering while you're in schools abroad, it goes a long way. A friend of mine was telling me that recently, and I'm like, that is not a big deal to me. It's what I've done over and over. So I don't see it as anything. If I get it, I'll definitely grab it. And yeah, it will be a joy, right? Yeah, it will be my joy. Right. So guys, we've had amazing time. Does anybody have a question? If you have, just let me know so I can be able to answer your question. If there's no question, probably meet next week, bro. Guys,
Good evening, everyone.
good
Um,
evening.
so based on the fine, thank you. Based on what you mentioned about some issues that you face with international travels and things like that. So do you advise that we should first start out with African fellowships, or like before like stamping a passport to like having like 2 pages like you mentioned? So is that what you would advise?
All right. So why I need to tell you that is, when I'm having my presentation, I sort of like let you know some of the experiences that I've gone through. So you probably don't get to that crossroad and you're thinking. So for me, that was not my situation, but I got to realize that people had to be spending money for that purpose. But for me, it wasn't my situation because I had already had programs that helped me to build my experiences over the years. So like the first one, like I mentioned, I went by road. The second one was Benin Republic, which was not far. It was stamped like 3 times. That's 6 going and coming. Then there was another time that was also Benin Republic again. It was all like that. Then there was another time, I can't remember. Then I think the next one now was like, what was that? I think the next one was now Ethiopia. Then the next one was Uganda. Then the next one was Rwanda. Then the next one was what else? Ghana again, yeah. So like all of this, then there was now one I missed, which was North America, and all of that. Is it not? No, North Macedonia rather. Then the next one was North America, definitely America. Then the next one, like that. Then the next one was Ghana again. So like some of the people feel like I don't like advise you to go by road because I don't know how you can bear such. If you want to know about my experience, I will probably do a vlog about that, but I'm not that kind of vlog person, right? But it's a bittersweet experience, right? So why I would advise you to do that is because money you would use to like go by flight to some places, just go by road. So like now, if you go to Kenya, I'll advise you to fly in through Rwanda. If you fly in through Rwanda, you can go by road from Rwanda to Uganda, Rwanda to Kenya. Why do I say that? Because you also build that travel history. You get to see the road, you get to buy things along the road, you get to meet people, the locals. Not that you are just going on that and they are just taking you to five-star hotel and all of that. And when I went to Uganda, we were just in one first out there after we stayed in the hotel and after everything. I still had few days. I added few days to my trip. So I went out with my guys and my guys took me somewhere, and then when I got there and all of that, and then I had this situation. I couldn't use my card. So like that experience, I didn't really travel within that place, but I was able to see one or two places. But if you go by roads in places that are secure, please bear that word in mind so you don't say James said, right? I've tried Ghana road before, it's safe and all of that. Make sure you go in the morning, like if you're gonna go by 5 a.m. at the park, the bus will probably leave around 7, and then before 6 or 7, if they are able to move early, you'll get to wherever you're going, and then ask questions and get a host. If you don't have whichever transport system you use, I recommend GIGM, I recommend cross country. I've only used these two over the years. I've used one particular one, but I will never recommend it. Neither can I mention their name. So, but in all of this, you can even go to Benin Republic and come back. And guess what? If you're going to Benin Republic or you're going to Ghana, most times they charge you the same amount. I would never advise you to go by leg and go and pass the border. It's a lot of stress. They will extort you and all of that. So why not just pay your fare from Lagos? You can book on their app, go and come back and all of that. Like you can even do it within 3 days. What really matters is number one, you're going to have a new experience that you've never had. Don't People might not see it as a big deal by going by road, it's not a big one. But one thing is sure, you have your passport, which is very important document that you should have for anybody who is interested in global opportunities. Two is that you have gained an experience traveling outside of Nigeria. Like, and you've entered 3 countries. You've entered Benin Republic, you've entered Togo, and you've entered Ghana. So one trip, you've entered 3 countries, right? For me, if I have the money and I'm able to plan it, I want to do West African tour. Like probably start from Nigeria, then go to Ghana, and from Ghana, you probably fly to another place. Then from that place, you start coming back through the road aspect. Like, just sit down and plan. Plan very well. Above all, have money, have dollars, right? I won't say keep naira because if you keep naira, you get to the border, you'll be shocked the amount they'll give you when they change to CFAs for you. Oh, oh, ujala, waki. You know what that means? If you don't, go and do your research. So, like, it's just good for you. Like, so when you have that experience, it sort of help you when you're going for other visas. They believe that you have been going and you're coming back. Like just those going and coming back, because that's what passport stamps says on passport. You are going and you are coming back. That's it. So, and let it have space and all. And yeah, if not for flight that have been very high recently, I would say if you can book ahead and all of that, then get all of this before you now come to the likes of France or any Schengen country. Go online and get reviews. What are those countries that you need to apply to that will give you an approval? They say France, they say Germany, they say this, they say that. What are the requirements you need? There are videos on YouTube and you can be specific. How to apply for Germany visa as a Nigerian. You will see it on YouTube. It might just be 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, but don't go for all those 5 months, 5 years, 3 years, 4 years. No, those ones are far. Look for the ones that are close by. You get it. There was a time at the back of one of my book, I wrote all those requirements. Some of them I know them offhand normally. Like some of it are very common. What are those things? They are itineraries. If you are going for a visa application, you need your itinerary. You need to do like you have booked your flight. You need to do like you have booked your accommodation. You need to accommodation and your flight. Those are the two important ones. Why? Because they need to be sure that you already have a plan for it, but you don't have to pay for it. That's it. So, and their website for that, yeah, I think bookings.com. What else? What else? What else? There's also another one, visareservations.com. I also use that. For that visa reservations, you probably will pay some amount of dollars. And if you are doing for 2 or 3, they will reduce your fee. It's better you pay that than you go to the embassy and you are rejected because they feel like you have not planned. They want you to have a mapped out plan. Write what you want to do, where you want to go, what you want to achieve. And then money. Money is very important. So I would advise if you can go to Benin Republic, go legally, come back and then plan another one or just plan. Currently, I think Ghana is about 80 or 85K. So like it's something that you should explore. Don't let any just plan it. You can go with a friend, you can go alone. Like the one I went with a master student when I was an undergraduate. It opened my eye and then With one, it leads to another. With one, it leads to another. With one, it leads to another. So, and and then you can also do, is it called couple traveling? You get, more like you travel to two countries through one trip, right? But your own now, you did triplets, you did triple traveling, more like you did Benin Republic, did Togo, you did this, like all those things. Like if you do the three of them, is a lot. Like let's say you now enter Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. Like you are a traveler. Hey God, when I've not been to those countries before, so, but I don't know about them. But then if it's too far, if you can't bear it, don't embark on it. Just fly down there. And yeah, don't just travel for travel's sake. Have reasons why you're going there, right? Have a reason. Like probably a program, when you're done with the program, explore that place. Explore. Yeah, explore with your money, spend the money. Yeah, I hope that answers your questions. Right? All right. So any other question? Does
Yes,
anyone
thank
have a
you.
question? You're welcome. You'll be carrying extra things around 101. I've just seen that. Well, yeah, carry extra things. Yeah. So there's also one thing I do, Jerry. Yeah, funny enough, I didn't even plan it. So I buy bracelets like this and I dash it out. But these are kind of comments you get. Some people will feel like it has charm because you're coming from Africa. Don't blame them, right? I've even had Africans that get to reject them. Like I've had someone that I work with and I give the person some of this last year, and the person like, I hope it doesn't have any spiritual whatever. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Right? So if you dash this out to an African, especially somebody that's from Africa, they see it as a lot because to buy this, probably $10. And how much did I buy it? Aboki, the review ni. I got it the review. You know what the review is? The review is just 200 naira. Yeah, the review. Yeah, 200 naira. So I got 200 naira and I got like plenty, like is it 20 or there around. And then some I was giving them brown and black and all of that. Like those are the easy. Some things don't need to really introduce anything. It will just be, wow, thank you, so kind of you, like thank you. And they will also look for a way to give you something in exchange. Like it's give and take. If they don't have, they will just appreciate you. And you are in their memory. Like they will always remember it. Those are the hack, Jai. Nothing more. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have had a nice weekend. Let me check YouTube if there's any question there. Because one of us is unable to join. Yeah, don't know. Okay. Any other question? Do you have any question? Let us know. So if you have a question, let us know. So yeah, this coming Monday, we are starting our 21 days challenge on. We are starting our 21 days challenge, right? So guys, do well to be active and join. So there's no question. Do well to be active and join that 21 days challenge. I need you to submit as soon as possible the aspects you want to talk about. For me, definitely, I'm going to be talking about what I'm interested in, what I'm currently doing, what I've done, and all of that. Da 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 da. And that's what people really need to hear from me. And yeah, so till we meet again, bye for now, and see you guys next week. Ciao, ciao. All right, guys. Bye bye.